Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is something that has been requested by you guys, and it's my tips for studying for humanities. So before I start, I would like to just say that I didn't take core humanities. I only took combined because I took pure science. So my school only offered for the pure science students to take combined electives. So combined humanities. So I took social studies and geography, combined humanities. So I didn't have to go through studying for core. So if you guys are needing tips for core, maybe some of these will help you, but I didn't have the experience with core, so I'm not the best person to ask for tips for studying for core humanities. So just before I start, I would like to let you all know that I did not take core, I took combined. So yeah. All that said, let's start with the video. My first tip is to summarize the content. So I've done humanities for 4 years, from Sec 1 to Sec 4. Whether or not that it's history or geography or social studies, they have a lot of content, especially history. I'm very lucky that I did not take history for my O-levels, I took geography. But even that, geography has a lot of content as well. So one thing that you need to do before your exams is to summarize everything. What I did, this is for geography, what I did is I took all the chapters that is tested, I wrote it onto a piece of paper, and I did like notes for each of the chapters, but everything is summarized. So like headlines, like if you're doing tourisms, I write at the top what causes fluctuations of tourism, something like that one. And then I'll write recession, diseases, what's the other two? Recession, diseases, natural disasters, and one more, I don't remember, it's been a while. So yeah, so you just write down the main points, don't write anything more than the main points. So when you go back, you know all your main points right before your exam. So right before your exam, you can look at your summary and see everything, and if worst comes to worst, you forget everything, you at least have the main points, and you can try to just write like by logic, by common sense, write an answer down. That will give you some marks. It really does help. For humanities, as long as your answer makes sense, it should be okay. So yeah, summarize your content. My second tip is to answer the question. Read the question and answer according to the command words. So this is for geography again, especially for command words, but do read your SS questions, because for all humanities, questions can be a bit tricky when they write the questions out. So read them, make sure you understand them before you start writing. For geography, there are command words like describe, explain, identify, state. Make sure you understand how much you're supposed to write for each command word. For example, state, you only need to write like one thing, like just state the thing, like a reason for the fluctuation of the tourism, just say recession, full stop. So yeah. Or if describe, you just write with a bit more description, a bit more, and explain, you have to write a lot. So that's how command words work, so that you can gauge how much you're supposed to write, so you don't spend too much time on a single question. So read your question, answer the question, and answer according to the command words. So I speak from experience for this. My O-level, I did not read my geography question properly, and after writing half a full sketch without leaving lines of answers, I realized that I read the question wrongly and had to cancel the whole thing and start again. So that wasted way too much of my time, and I couldn't write a proper essay at the end. That might be the reason why I got A2 instead of A1, but who knows. So yeah. The third tip that I have for you guys is to connect the content to your life. What do I mean by this is, for your textbooks, especially for mine, I don't know if everybody uses the same textbooks, but for social studies and geography, I don't know about history, but history is all about the past, so I don't know whether you can use this tip. But for geography and social studies, a lot of the examples that they give is from very long ago. So, for example, diseases, for the fluctuation of tourism, I don't know why I keep using fluctuation of tourism, but for fluctuation of tourism, there's a section called for diseases, and the disease that they provided as an example in the textbook is SARS. SARS happened the year I was born, and I'm turning 17. So that was way too long ago. So it's very hard to really you have to memorize the numbers and everything. But if you experienced a disease, like now with the COVID-19, you have your numbers and you can just go online and search for just the numbers, and you can talk about how it affects your life and how tourism has dropped in your country, especially in Singapore. So write something that is relevant to your life. So I wrote dengue in 2016 dengue for my fluctuation of tourism. I kind of remember because so like go onto in your own notes, whether you're writing it out or typing it out, instead of using the examples from your textbooks, they're from who knows when, use something that you know off of your heart. So like in an exam, you don't have to dig through your brain for things that you memorize. You already know them because it's relevant to your life. So yeah, I have an example. If I remember, I will leave it over here. It's my social studies notes. So social studies, they give a lot of examples as well. But if you think of it, there's a lot of examples in your life that's happening now, like building of the new MRT lines, the Thomson East Coast line, or building new highways, or building of Jewel at Changi Airport. All these can be used in your social studies, so you don't have to memorize anything. And for social studies, the good thing is that many, especially for both social studies and geog, a lot of the examples can cross. So you can use the same examples for different answers, like for different chapters and different questions. You can use the same example, so it's lesser to memorize. So yeah, that's my tip. The fourth tip I have for you guys is to memorize keywords. So just now I was talking about how you can reduce the amount of things you memorize by writing out your own examples instead of using the ones in the textbook. Now, if you need anything from the textbook, if you need to memorize anything from the textbooks, like definitions, the reasons why this thing happened, how it affects anything, or examples that you really can't think of anything, so you have to use the textbook, just remember keywords. So keywords are like the dates, the years, just keywords. So like if you're studying recession, just memorize maybe the 2008 global recession. Oh, I can't believe I remember all this. And what happened, like the housing market crashed in the US. Wow, I remember. But yeah, just remember all the keywords, and then you can form a sentence during your exam on your own. You don't have to memorize the whole paragraph word for word. That's gonna take way too much time. So when I was in lower sec, this is what I did for my geography. I memorized the entire textbook, like the entire thing, like word to word, everything. That took way too much time. Yes, it did help my grades, but you're not only studying for geog, you're not only studying for social studies. There's still English, maths, science, all your other subjects you need to study for, so you can't spend all your time on humanities. So to reduce the amount of time that you use to study for humanities, just memorize the keywords. The fifth tip that I have for you guys is to prioritize what you study. This is the same tip that I've given in my Pure Chem video that, if I remember, I will link up there or down in the description. But prioritize, like I said, geography or combined humanities or your humanities are not the only subjects you need to study for. So don't spend all your time on humanities. That is on a wider, broader perspective. Within the subject itself, you need to prioritize also. What do I mean is, for example, your teacher would teach chapters by chapters, right? And then there will be exams for each semester. So there's mid-year, end of years, mid-year, end of years, then your O-levels, right? So there would be a chapter or a few chapters that are tested in the exam multiple times, and there will be chapters that are only tested once before your O-levels. So the ones that have been tested multiple times in your exams, which means is what you learned at the start of Sec 3, don't spend so much time studying for those before O-levels, because you will have already studied that chapter 3 to 4 times for your Sec 3 mid-year, your Sec 3 end of year, your Sec 4 mid-years, and your Sec 4 prelims before your O-levels. So study what was taught last before your O-levels first, because that is what is new in your brain. So yeah, don't prioritize properly and don't waste your time on chapters that don't have to be studied so much. The next tip that I have for you guys is to read ahead when choosing questions. This is not really for SS, because SS you can't choose your questions, but for geography you can choose your questions. For my school, they didn't let us choose questions until prelim, but for prelim and for O-levels, if your school is like me, read ahead. Before you even start writing anything down for your answers, read the entire paper first. Certain questions will be certain topics, and identify the topics for each of the questions and read all the questions first. See what you know the answers to. If you don't know, don't do that question. Like, really, don't say, oh, I'm very good, I can do this question, and then choose the easier out of the two. So every section there'll be 2, choose the easier of the 2 and read ahead first, so that by scientifically proven, if you read the question first, even though you're doing another question, your brain is still thinking about the question. So by the time you come to that question, your brain should already have an answer if you study it properly. So read ahead to identify what questions you're doing first before you even start writing the answers to the first question that you're doing. And yeah. My last tip for you guys is for social studies. And this tip really helped me a lot. Some of you might not want to use this tip, but it's for people like me. So my tip is to do SRQ first, your response question first. That is your essay question. If you guys don't know, it's the question 2 of social studies. So question 2 has 2 questions, A and B, and they are both a lot more easier to score marks than your source-based questions. So especially for part A doesn't need anything from your textbook. It's everything from your logical sense, your common sense. Just do that question first. So if you guys don't know, in O-levels you don't have to do your questions in order. So you can write your SRQ questions, your answers in front of your SBQ questions, as long as you write your question number down clearly. So do your SRQ first. It will help you, because those are the ones that it's easier to score marks. So do that first. So you edit. If you do SBQ first, you run the possibility of not being able to finish your SRQ. I have seen a lot of my friends spend way too much time on SBQ, and by the time the exam ends, their SRQ is still empty. That means they threw away 16 marks, about there, 16 if I remember correctly. 16 marks is a lot of marks. Way too much marks to throw away so easily. Actually, it's not 16 marks, so I think it's 20 marks. I don't know, but the whole section they threw away. And SBQ, who knows you're gonna do very well for that. That one is a lot harder to score marks. So do your SRQ first, the one that gives you marks a lot easier. And then do your SBQ after, because SBQ you don't have to write all the paragraphs. So your purpose paragraphs, your last paragraphs, if you don't write them, usually they only deduct 1 or 2 marks. That means you see a majority of the marks. So if you don't finish your SBQ, it's a lot better than not finishing your SRQ. So do your SRQ first before you do your SBQ. So that is all my tips for studying for humanities or like doing well for humanities. I wish you guys all the best. I've seen a lot of your comments in my videos saying that you're doing O-levels this year. I don't know how you do it with all this coronavirus everywhere and like all this stress. I wish you guys all the best for your O-levels. Work hard and don't forget to give yourself some rest. Help yourself out. And yeah, I wish you guys all the best. If you need any more tips for your O-levels, leave them down below. And those of you who have already done your O-levels and can provide your own tips, leave them down below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. You can subscribe there as well. Don't forget to leave a comment down below of what you guys want to see next, because I will do them. And I'll see you guys next week.